Hi, my name is Laura Searle, and I'm applying to be an orientation leader for the summer of 2018, and here are the answers to the questions. The best way that I could describe my early transition experience, which I'm assuming was my own orientation experience, was the most fun I think I had ever had doing anything that was college related. I absolutely loved my orientation group. I loved my orientation leader. I just remember that those 2 days being on the hilltop, I just felt so accepted, and I just knew that I had made the right decision. If I had to keep or change something, I think one thing that I would keep would be just the downtime that we had with our orientation leader. I really, really loved how much time we were able to spend with them, and we were just really able to open up and ask questions, and just things that we talked about were things that I don't feel like we could have done in like a more professional setting when we had originally been touring the school. One thing that I would change though is I wish that once the school year had started, we had been able to do like a meal or like an activity with our orientation group, with our orientation leader, to kind of like catch up and see how we were adjusting. I know that for me, at least the first few weeks of my freshman year were just a little nerve-wracking and scary, just trying to get used to the new environment and being away from home for the first time. So I wish that we could have done an activity like that. So that would be one thing that I would change. But other than that, I had so much fun. I am still friends with the people I met at my orientation, and it was just a blast, honestly. When I was looking at colleges, I did kind of have a checklist of things that I wanted. For example, I knew I wanted to stay in state, I knew I wanted to study psychology, and I knew I wanted to study abroad. Why did I pick St. Edward specifically? I honestly just fell in love with the campus. Prior to visiting St. Edward's, I had met with the representative at my high school, and I just really liked everything she had to say about St. Ed's, and so I visited, and I just honestly fell in love. I fell in love with how diverse it was. That was something that I didn't realize how important it was until I started looking at schools. I loved how we have that push to take on our world and to really study abroad. And I know that had I gone to a different university, it's not to say that I wouldn't have studied abroad, but I know I wouldn't have had the same opportunities as I do at St. Ed's. I was able to intern in the GEO office this past fall, and I got to see the behind the scenes of studying abroad and all the paperwork and everything that goes into it, and it was honestly so amazing to do that. And now to be here, to be in London and kind of live that part out, it's a really, really cool experience. Hilltop Pride is more than being proud of where I go to school. It's being proud of the community that I'm a part of. A community that pushes me to grow and to learn with every new opportunity. Not once since being at St. Edward's have I ever felt discouraged, but of reaching my full potential, not by a classmate, not by a professor, not by a staff member. I have always felt that I can achieve anything while at St. Ed's, and one of my favorite parts of St. Edward's is just how everybody is so incredibly willing to help you. I've had so many professors, I would come to them in office hours and ask them questions or be unsure about something, and the amount of work that they put in to trying to make sure that I understand the material or that my question gets answered is amazing. And I'm proud to be a part of a community that is so willing to help each other out. The parts of the mission statement that resonate the most with me, I think the first one would be our liberal arts education. I never really understood what a liberal arts education was until I came to St. Edward's, and I love that we're not just studying our major or our degree, we are studying a little bit of everything. And although that can be frustrating at times, I know that in the end it's shaping me out to be not only a well-rounded student, but a well-rounded citizen. And I think that's extremely important in our day-to-day culture and in our day-to-day life. The more informed you can be, I think the better. And St. Edward's is really helping prepare us for that. The second part of the mission statement that I absolutely love is taking on our world. As I mentioned before, I was able to be an intern at GEO this past fall semester, and now I'm here in London, and I have learned so much more in these past 8 weeks being abroad than I could have ever learned sitting in a classroom back home. I'm comparing and contrasting all the time between the American and the British culture, and that doesn't stop there. I live with people from Turkey, from Norway, from all these different places, and I love to hear about life for them back home, and just think about how the world is just so big that it's a shame for us to only stay in one place when we have this opportunity to see more of it and to learn more. And I know that the experience that I'm having right now and everything that I'm learning is so completely invaluable, and I'm very thankful for St. Edward's and this opportunity. The third part of the mission statement that resonates with me is the acceptance of diversity. As I mentioned earlier, I didn't really realize that I was looking for diversity when I was touring schools, and it was something that actually really frustrated me because I just assumed that college was, of course, going to be very diverse. But then I came to St. Edward's, and I love how many languages we speak on campus. I love how many cultures we represent, how many different religions we represent. Yes, we are a Catholic university, but we are acceptant of all. We don't judge sex, gender, race, sexuality. Like, we accept all sorts of walks of life, and that's something that's really, really important, and I'm really, really proud to be a part of. That, in a time where a lot of judgment is occurring, St. Edward's accepts everyone for who they are. And one of my favorite things about St. Ed's is when I go to Mass on Sundays. I'm not part of campus ministry. It's something that I do want to be a part of when I go back to school in the fall. But I love going to those 9 p.m. Masses and just seeing the student body just come together. It's so amazing, and it's such a sense of community that I'm very proud to be a part of.